Welcome. Today we're diving into a side of the Filipino diaspora rarely seen, the hidden struggles of homelessness abroad. We often celebrate the success stories, but many face silent battles far from home. This isn't about blame, it's about understanding the risks and resilience of Filipinos seeking a better life. Through powerful stories and images, we'll reveal the top 10 countries where Filipino homelessness is a harsh reality. Let's begin this journey with open hearts. At number 10, we find Malaysia, a country geographically close, practically just next door to the Philippines. A nation that shares maritime borders and cultural ties. Yet, despite its nearness and the promise it seems to hold, Malaysia is filled with unexpected challenges and harsh realities for many Filipinos seeking a better life. The allure of opportunity often masks a darker side. Many arrive with hope brimming in their hearts, fueled by stories of prosperity and the chance to provide for their families back home. They envision a brighter future, a fresh start in a land of opportunity. But all too often, the complex web of legal requirements and the harsh realities of the employment landscape quickly turn those dreams into devastating nightmares. The path to success is fraught with peril. Unscrupulous recruiters, preying on the vulnerable, exploit their desperation for financial gain. They paint rosy pictures that quickly fade upon arrival. Invalid permits, often obtained through deceitful means, leave workers in a precarious legal limbo, constantly fearing discovery and deportation. And the sudden, unexpected job loss, whether due to unfair practices or economic downturns, can leave many stranded, penniless, and invisible to the system. With no income to sustain themselves and no legal status to protect them, they find themselves in a desperate situation. Some, with nowhere else to turn, end up sleeping in parks, huddled in alleyways, exposed to the elements and the dangers of the streets. They are forced to rely on the kindness and generosity of others, often strangers who understand their plight. The constant fear of deportation keeps them hidden, living in the shadows, afraid to seek help or even report injustices. Isolated from their families, cut off from support networks, they become increasingly desperate, their hope dwindling with each passing day. The Filipino community, known for its resilience and compassion, shares what little they have, offering a lifeline to those in need. But the struggle is constant, a daily battle for survival in a foreign land. These are not just cold, impersonal statistics on a page. They are real people with real stories. Their mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters. Families who took a leap of faith, seeking a better life, only to find themselves falling through the cracks of a broken system. Malaysia's geographical proximity doesn't guarantee safety or success. The short distance doesn't equate to an easy journey. For many, it's a place of profound hardship, a stark reminder that the pursuit of dreams can sometimes lead to unimaginable suffering. Number 9 is Italy, a dream destination that can quickly turn into a struggle for survival. Many Filipinos arrive with high hopes, but undocumented status makes them invisible. Without papers, legal work and housing are out of reach, forcing many into exploitative jobs and precarious living. A single setback can mean sleeping on the streets of Rome or Milan, far from family and support. Shame and isolation run deep, but the spirit of Bayanihan endures. Filipinos form underground networks, sharing food and shelter, clinging to hope. Their resilience is remarkable, but the risks are immense. Italy's promise often comes with a heavy price. At number 8, Australia's promise of prosperity can quickly unravel. High living costs and job instability hit hard, especially for those on temporary visas. Losing a job can mean losing your right to stay, with little time to recover. Many find themselves couch surfing or even sleeping in cars, too ashamed to tell family back home. The emotional toll is immense, surrounded by wealth, yet struggling in silence. Without a strong support system, even skilled workers can fall into homelessness. Australia's image of opportunity hides a harsh reality for many migrants. The dream can vanish in an instant. Number 7 is Singapore, a city of opportunity, but also of sky-high living costs. Filipino workers, from domestic helpers to tech professionals, face instant homelessness if they lose their job. Work permits are tied to employers. Lose one, and you lose your home and legal status. With no safety net, many rely on friends, sleeping in overcrowded rooms, hiding from authorities. The stress is relentless, the margin for error razor thin. Behind the city's gleaming facade, many Filipinos fight a daily battle for survival. Economic prosperity doesn't guarantee security for migrant workers. In Singapore, one misstep can mean losing everything. Number 6 is Hong Kong, where Filipino domestic workers are the backbone of many households. Their housing is tied to their jobs. Lose one, and they're instantly homeless. With just 2 weeks to find new work, many end up in shelters or sleeping on friends' floors. Stories of abuse, sudden dismissal, and legal limbo are common. Despite their resilience and vibrant community, their existence is precarious. One wrong turn can mean losing both job and home overnight. In one of the world's most expensive cities, the line between security and homelessness is razor thin. Their courage is immense, but so are the risks. Number 5 on our list is Japan, a land of incredible opportunity, a global hub of innovation and technology, and a place where dreams can take flight. It's a nation renowned for its rich history, stunning landscapes, and vibrant culture. But beneath the surface of this captivating country lies a complex reality, one filled with daunting barriers for those who find themselves struggling to adapt and integrate. For many Filipinos seeking a better life in Japan, the initial excitement can quickly turn into a harsh awakening. Language and cultural differences create a significant divide, isolating many and making everyday tasks a challenge. This isolation makes it incredibly hard to seek help when needed, whether it's navigating the healthcare system, understanding legal documents, or simply finding new work in a competitive job market. The language barrier alone can feel like an insurmountable obstacle. And for those who experience job loss, the situation can quickly spiral into homelessness. The safety nets that exist in other countries are often difficult to access in Japan, especially for non-citizens. Navigating the bureaucracy can be a nightmare, with complex forms and procedures that are often only available in Japanese. This, coupled with the stigma associated with seeking assistance, compounds the struggle and makes it even harder to get back on one's feet. Many are simply too ashamed to ask for help, fearing judgment or discrimination. The pressure to maintain appearances and avoid causing trouble is immense. They blend into the background, becoming invisible in a society that places a high value on conformity and self-reliance. The fear of standing out or being perceived as a burden can be paralyzing. Homelessness carries a particularly deep stigma in Japan, and this is amplified for foreigners who are already facing prejudice and misunderstanding. The isolation is profound, a feeling of being utterly disconnected from the world around you. Surrounded by millions of people in one of the world's most bustling cities, yet utterly alone in their struggle. The struggle is often silent, a hidden battle fought in the shadows. Hidden behind polite smiles, impeccable manners, and closed doors, the true extent of the hardship remains largely unseen. In Japan, the battle is as much against the crushing weight of loneliness and isolation as it is against the immediate challenges of poverty and unemployment. It's a fight for connection, for belonging, and for a sense of hope in a society that can sometimes feel incredibly unforgiving. Number 4 is Canada, often seen as a land of hope, but the reality can be harsh. High living costs and underemployment push many Filipinos to the brink. The path to homelessness is slow, starting with unaffordable rent, then a crisis like job loss or illness. Without savings or family support, eviction can come swiftly. Even highly skilled workers find themselves in shelters, facing brutal winters and deep disappointment. The emotional toll on families is immense, with parents feeling guilt and failure. Systemic barriers and discrimination make it even harder to recover. Canada's promise doesn't always deliver security for new arrivals. Number 3 is the UAE, where opportunity is tied to the fragile kafala system. Lose your job and you lose your visa, housing, and legal status, often overnight. Debt can trap you, making it illegal to leave or work, forcing many into hiding. Homeless Filipinos sleep in parks, cars, or overcrowded rooms, relying on charity to survive. The psychological toll is crushing, surrounded by luxury yet struggling for basics. Fear of police and deportation is constant. The desert dream can quickly become a nightmare of isolation and despair. For many, the system offers no way out. Number 2 is Saudi Arabia, where millions of Filipinos work under the strict kafala system. Abuse, withheld wages, or false accusations can force workers to flee, instantly making them illegal. Without papers or money, many hide in makeshift camps or rely on dangerous day labor. Fear of police and deportation raids is constant. Stories of skilled professionals and women fleeing abuse are heartbreakingly common. The dream of providing for family can become a life of fear and homelessness. Hidden communities of runaway workers struggle to survive in the shadows. For too many, the kingdom becomes a prison without walls. Number 1 on our list is the United States of America. A nation built on ideals of freedom and opportunity, it continues to draw people from all corners of the globe. including a significant number of Filipinos seeking a better life. It's often portrayed as the land of dreams, a place where hard work and determination can lead to prosperity and success. However, the reality on the ground reveals a more complex picture, one that includes deep struggles and systemic challenges for many Filipinos who have made this country their home. The promise of the American dream doesn't always translate into reality. From misled new arrivals, who are often sold a false bill of goods, to war veterans, who bravely served alongside American soldiers, and undocumented workers, who toil tirelessly in essential but often invisible jobs, homelessness is a hidden epidemic, a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that exist within even the wealthiest nation. High costs of living, particularly in major metropolitan areas, coupled with a lack of adequate social safety nets and complex immigration issues that create barriers to stability and opportunity, push many into poverty, trapping them in a cycle of hardship and despair. Filipino war veterans who were promised benefits for their service and sacrifice are sometimes found living on the streets, forgotten and neglected by the very nation they defended. Undocumented workers live in constant fear of deportation, working low-wage jobs, often in substandard and exploitative conditions, with little to no recourse, or forced to live in their cars, struggling to maintain a semblance of normalcy. The shame and isolation are overwhelming, compounded by the feeling of being invisible and forgotten. In a culture that often equates homelessness with personal failure, rather than recognizing the systemic factors at play. The American dream, once a beacon of hope, is increasingly out of reach for many, becoming a cruel illusion, replaced by a daily fight for dignity and survival, a constant struggle against the odds. It's perhaps the most tragic chapter in the Filipino diaspora, a stark reminder that the pursuit of a better life can sometimes lead to unexpected and heartbreaking realities. We've reached the end of our journey, having witnessed the silent struggles of Filipinos across the globe. These stories are about courage, heartbreak, and resilience. Let's remember the human cost behind every dream of a better life abroad. If this moved you, please subscribe and help us raise awareness for those without a voice. Your support keeps these stories alive and reminds the world that every person matters. Let's be kinder, more compassionate, and help when we can. We are one human family. Let's act like it.